I think I was actually the first person who picked pine pollen for them. I remember, getting in touch with them on the website, and I was on my way to the morel harvest actually, and I got a call from those guys and say, look, like we were expecting to harvest some more south, but like we got a heat wave, and I got that call and I was like, okay, look, I'm gonna stop for a day, do a bit of mapping and see if we can find something. And we found a spot. We went to harvest, I think, 100 or 200 kilograms, and we shipped it. And they were really happy with the product, and that's where it started.
Ben's with us pretty much since the beginning. Since we had the idea, he's one of the first guys that we reached out to and seen if he would be interested in making sure that we could make this dream a reality. He played a major role in our first large harvest and had the ability to have a supporting cast with him that could meet the demands we required in order to bring this product to market.
Yes, so my name is Benjamin. I'm originating from France. I have been in Canada on and off for the last 19 years. But me and my wife Celia, we settled down on Vancouver Island 7 years ago. And we created a small company called Forest for Dinner. We specialize in wild forage products, and we're going to start to process wild food as well into retail goods. I moved to Quebec City in 2002, and I did my master's degree in agroforestry. And while doing that, I got specialized in what we call non-timber forest products. So basically everything that can grow in the forest that potentially has an economic value. It could be like as edible, but it could be for health products or even for other application, beverage for example. Every time I got asked to harvest a new product, or some people want to send me, like, do you think there is a potential? The first thing I will do is like read a lot about the species itself. Where does it grow? Is that native? Is that invasive? Is that growing everywhere? Is that only growing at high elevation? And I will start to do my feeling about it. If I see straight away, that's a kind of rare species here, it's not really easy to harvest, or you have to harvest the whole plant, for example, that's something I tend to say no, Where I'm glad it happened is like they started really little, and now every year the volume is getting a bit bigger. And I think there is still a big way to expand without, damaging the resource. I mean, there is so much pine plantation all across BC that's really a sustainable resource, and I think that's a really good thing. Some companies show that there is not just timber in the forest, and that we can create value and also healthy product out of the forest, not only timber.
It starts with the pickers. The pickers is a full-time job. You don't want to underestimate the actual effort that goes into bringing us the product. Our pickers are completely qualified professionals that have been doing this for a long period of time. And a lot of these people move on to other professions in the forestry industry, and they're leaders, and they're the people that will be taking care of our forests in the future. So these are the type of people that we're proud to be associated with and want to continue working with on a daily basis. And we have a lot of confidence in their ability and their knowledge.
It's always like super exciting to pick something new, to discover a new product and like to discover some new part of the territory, and to enlight some kind of wild food. And I mean, as a forager, it's like that's what I like most. It's like picking something different each year. And my name is Loïc. I'm originally from France. Yeah. It's quite demanding, like spending like 10 hours in the bush, like picking things, and you get to be careful, like not to get lost. And then I get to take care about wildlife, and see bears and moose like quite often.
My name is Clemence, and I pick since 2 years. Difficult with the mosquitoes and sometimes with the sun.
Right.
But no, it's not. It's not so. Low, I don't know.
Too heavy, or?
Yeah, it's not so heavy, so that's fine, yeah.
I really like being in the wild. Also like doing it with friends. That's really important to me. So we kind of try to work as a community a little bit. We like to have kind of a healthy lifestyle. At least we try to. And so we share this kind of things together about harvesting wild natural product, and that we can send to whoever need them. So yeah, it's important to do it with friends and people you really get along to and have the same kind of mentality. Yeah, I really like that part. I started, actually I was there the first year they did it, like I think it was 4 or 5 years ago. So yeah, I worked with them, and Ben brought me actually with him at that time, and I met Burgess and Saeed, and then worked for them that year, which was a really good experience. And now I'm back this year also, and I'm really happy to be back again. And I hope to come back in the future years also.
I mean, working with Ben and the Canadian Pollen company has been nice. I mean, they're passionate people, you know, so it's a lot of pleasure to work with them, with people like that. Kind of love it.
Yeah. There's so much work that people don't see when they just buy it, like at the store or something. But there's a lot of hard work and not always easy condition. Like you probably noticed today, the mosquito. Now it's pretty cool because we have a little breeze. But yeah, earlier during the day was something, but that's part of the experience, and I don't see it as a really big problem. It's more like part of the challenge, and that's how, you know, that is like really pure natural food because you're in the forest, so it's like the mosquito are there because they're part of this environment, as are the bears and other animals. Yeah.
We're accessing a lot of land that we need to go back to continuously year after year. If it's disrespected in any way, we're not going to have the ability to go back there and harvest the next year just based on the fact that it might not be there for us.
You know, it sounds easy to go and harvest commercial volume, but it's not. You know, like as you can see, there's a lot of mosquitoes. It needs some gears. The weather is sometimes changing. There is a lot of safety issue, you know, being in the bush with a truck and like bears as well. And so that's something we develop more and more, to do some custom harvest for some people that are interested in one product. And that's something I'm really interested in, to try to see, okay, are there any spots where we can harvest it on a commercial level and make sense? And that's exactly what happened with pine pollen. And where I'm glad it happened is like they started really little, and now every year the volume is getting a bit bigger. And I think there is still a big way to expand if that's what they want, without, you know, damaging the resource. When I first harvested spruce tips, that was in Ucluelet, just in town, you know, around town. We're lucky in Ucluelet to have like really like big stretch of wild land, you know, in town. And I remember somebody stopping by and asking me, you know, oh, what's the impact of harvesting those? And you know, that's the thing. Like when you're removing pollen catkins or spruce tips, you're basically just pruning a tree, you know, like in many forestry farms, you're gonna actually pay somebody to come and prune the tree to get the shape you want of a tree. And I've been following some trees I've been harvesting for 7 years now. There is basically no impact, you know. You might change the shape of a tree a little bit, but you know, the energy that's like the young buds are just energy, and it's gonna make branches. If you're removing some buds at the lower level of a tree, basically you're just gonna give more energy to the top shot. So they're just gonna make the balance, you know, the trees, and you're gonna have the apex shots growing faster actually. So really on those products for me, that was no big problem, you know, you're basically not doing any harm to anything. You know, we're speaking about really little in comparison with like how many plantations there is, like basically millions of hectares of lodgepole pine plantation in BC. If we harvest 10 hectares, all of that, and even in the 10 hectares we harvest, we might be harvesting a tree out of 10 and just the lower part of the tree. The thing we're doing is trying to actually put a value on the degraded land, you know, and I don't think it's wrong, you know, like I would prefer to see a native forest here, and maybe we will be harvesting something else sustainably. It's not that I need those tree plantations, but they're there, and there is a product that is healthy and can be harvested sustainably. Why not going for it, you know?
I think it's important for us to give credit where credit's due, and to give people the impression that it's a two-man team and that we're doing this all on our own is really doesn't resonate with us as well. Getting the product is half the process. I mean, we can circle back on what we specialize in and why we're passionate about making sure that this product is certified and can get into the consumer's hands in a safe manner, and people can trust that it's packaged in a food safe facility and we're meeting all the criteria of having the proper certification and whatnot. But without these people, we would not have the opportunity to provide this product to consumers. And I think it's very important that everybody is recognized through this whole process. So whether that goes from Ben at the start, to us to the processing part of it, to the supporting cast who help us get this product to market, help introduce people to it in the market. It's a huge, huge collaborative effort, and we're very fortunate to be able to work with the individuals we do in order to make this dream a reality.
You know, the wild food industry in general, like when we speak about mushroom or really the edibles, it's a really harsh business. You know, I've been in the export business of morels and there is a lot of competition, and you know, I don't like it. You know, I'm not here to fight with others over a product and things like that. And what I really like with Canadian Pine Pollen first is like, they really, you know, respect what we do and what we are. You know, they know we're professional at picking, and it's not easy. You know, like I've been picking cherries for 10 years. I've been picking a lot of different wild food. It's not like that you're gonna come and pick 100 kilograms of pine pollen, and that's what I like. They really respect the fact that we know what we're doing, and they respect the jobs. They're not just buyers there getting product from anybody. You know, they try to have like traceability in the whole supply chain. You know, like to try to get serious people going there, not doing, you know, like trying to make sure the truck is clean when they're bringing the product in, trying to respect, you know, the land, trying to not over-harvest an area, not doing some roadside picking. And I think, you know, I work in collaboration with a few other companies, but what I really appreciate with them is their fairness. You know, they respect the job we do, and on their side, you know, they have been setting up a better facility. They got all the certification needed, and you can see they're more efficient at processing the product as well. You know, they can handle more volume per day, which is a good way if they want to grow, you know, further. I have been using the Pollen itself. I sometimes use it for baking and stuff like that. But to me, you know, like the product I've been using the most is tincture. And yeah, I can feel it's energizing. You know, I remember some period of time, sometime for 2-3 weeks. You know, I'm gonna take a drop of tincture or like a full, I don't know what you call it in English, but yeah, that's really good product. You know, and what I like as well is like, you know, they try to use everything, you know, like I was at the facility the other day and could see all these empty catkins, you know, that have been already processed, and they're thinking about making more tincture, or they have been using it for soap as well. And that's what I really like in the way of doing. It's like, it's not trying not to have any waste at the end, you know, like we go and we're lucky to get a product from the forest, and if we can try to make the best of it, that's what I'm looking for, yeah.